Hello guys, and you're very welcome back to the video. As the title of this video suggests, the goals for 2023 and just a bit of a review of how things went and how it all went down. So I had a few set goals in mind, and those were to catch a double figure pike, to catch first ever salmon, to catch my first ever bass, to catch first ever shore caught tope, and also to catch 20 species freshwater and saltwater. So yeah, basically start off the year, I was fishing pike up until March really. I actually nailed my first double figure pike around February time. January or February, I got my first double figure pike. That was 11 pound. Good old fish, and yeah, done the job. A couple of weeks later, I actually smashed that again. So I did with a 13 pound pike in flooded water. That took a sardine bait, and I was delighted with that. So I fished pike up until March, and then had in mind then salmon. So I did. There was a fresh run of salmon there in the local river about March time. There was the first springer caught. So I was kind of optimistic. I was down fishing away for the salmon on the flies and the spinning gear, and yeah, fished that kind of a few hours after work, not putting in any mad shifts, not any full days at it, just giving it a go. And I actually had a few sea trout doing that, so I did. And then I actually spent a day at the sea trout, and I cleaned up on the sea trout this year. I've never caught sea trout before, but I caught plenty this year. It was me, actually my best performing video this year was the sea trout. Be sure to check that out. I've been trying to catch salmon the last 2 years. So this is my second year at it. Bought my first license in 2022. And then I bought into 2023, then I didn't have any salmon. In 2022, I had a few brown trout just. So I fished away at salmon up until maybe May time, and then I started going for the sea, then start going for species, rays and dogfish up until the really June time. Spent all fishing sea, a few evenings at bass as well, nothing taking the bass. I was also in Wexford around late May time, ragworm baits, checking out for bass, pillar crabs for smooth hounds, full mackerel baits for tope. The whole weekend I was down, I caught 10 dogfish on every bait going. Caught it on mackerel, sandeel, pillar crab and ragworm. Just 10 dogfish, not any other species that time. That was with the Shore Hunters Ireland. Shout out JP, he took us round the marks and really looked after us. Great fella, he does a bit of shore guiding as well, so be sure to check him out. Ran a great social event as well, met lots of new friends, met a lot of new contacts. It was very good to get out. When I was down fishing the rays in May up until maybe end of June, I was putting out baits for tope off the pier as well, and off the rocks, hitting big mackerel baits up on the wire traces. Didn't catch any tope during that time, but I also I had a few rays and dogfish, all that sort of stuff. And then I went on holiday, came back then, it was July, mid-July, went for salmon then. And there was actually, the whole time I was on holiday, there was plenty of, it was a really bad July, like really wet, really bad weather. So it was really flooded. So I caught my salmon then, mid-July. That was, I'll attach the footage here. Folks, I cannot comprehend. I am so buzzing with this. It's not the freshest salmon, she's been on the river a while. Bleeding a bit, but we'll get him back ASAP. That was on a flying sea on the river foul system. Separate license to the All Ireland license, so yeah, paid that as well. So it was a costly old handling. Went for a few other days for salmon, didn't get any more. I was happy enough for that one. It was approximately 8 pound upwards, I would say. It was well in the water for a long time. It was a brown fish, wasn't fresh, so it was in there breeding essentially. Went down then, started fishing. I really went for bass then around September time. I was down every night fishing hard lugworm baits and stuff like that there, catching a few flounder and stuff like that, and a few dogfish on the sandeel baits, coalies and stuff like that as well. Didn't get my bass at all. A night conger fishing, went a night conger fishing, and I went a night beach fishing as well, down the Uig and Silver Strand, stuff like that. So yeah, I got plenty of conger, plenty of flatties, no turbot. That was, I like catching a wee turbot just for an extra species, none that year, so I didn't. Went out in a boat also, caught haddock, caught big coalies, big pollock, mackerel. I was hungover that day, was on the beer the night before. That's another thing that really deterred my fishing was the amount of socialising and drinking alcohol that I'd done this year. Really didn't do me any favours in catching species and achieving my fishing goals. So something I'm definitely going to consider this year, 2024, is I'm just not going to drink, so I'm not, because it leaves you demotivated to catch fish the next day. So that's that. And going then the following November, then I was kind of, there was a bit of frost about, so we went for pike. I spent 2 days at the pike and I got 2 pike in the frost in November, and then the next time I was down it was freezing fog and didn't get any. So I've 2 pike this year, the biggest £6 this season. The biggest this year is £13.5. After the pike, funny enough, that was the end of November, my friends Marty and Christy really motivated me to go out and get a bass. They said they were, you know, perseverance and hard graft and big worm baits would get you bass. Doesn't matter any speed to the tide, just as long as it's dark. Went out then and it was the start of December, I think it was the 5th of December. It was freezing and everything like that, so it was like frost about, so it was really cold. It wasn't too cold on the beach, there was just a northeasterly wind about 30 kilometers. It was 5 degrees on the beach, but up home it was -2. And I got my bass in, so I did. Caught that on ragworm bait on a 2-hook flapper tied by myself. Yeah, I was fucking delighted with that. I couldn't do it any better. That was delighted because I spent 5 years of my life trying to catch my bass. 2 of those were lost to COVID. 2018 I tried fishing for bass and I've always been poxed off with it. I was always annoyed. Gear getting rotten in sand, blanking, bad weather, bad shite basically. So I was thrilled with that. December then, and then I was down beaches and fishing a few other species, but just got coalies and flounder. So to sum it up, I didn't catch a taupe. I caught a salmon, I caught a bass, and also got me double figure pike. So yeah, delighted. So the species I finished up then with in 2023 for the year were pike, sea trout, brown trout, ray, dogfish, mackerel, pollock, coley, grey gurnard, haddock, flounder, salmon, conger eel, scad, and a bass. Now that is 15 species out of 20, and yeah, that's it. That's going to be definitely smash next year. There's no doubt about that. There's no doubt at all, because that was me waking up every single day hungover. Every weekend I was out drinking between 6 to 15 pints a night, going up the next day then with a shitey old head of me and rolling out of bed. So if I limit that, I will get the 20 species in 2024, and I will, yeah, get my new goals as well. So the goals going into 2024 are to get a fly caught salmon, a lure caught bass, still my shore taupe, a 15-pound pike, to catch a mullet. I don't know if I'll catch a mullet, but I'll give it a go. Also the 20 species, stuff like that. So yeah, it's going to be a big year. It's going to be fun. It's going to look forward to it, and we'll see you there, and hopefully you'll be there for the whole journey. Be sure to smash the like and subscribe button, and we'll get you at the next one.